friend. Him and Denny Souvlaki are the other ones. Manolis is 42 or 43 years old. And what's interesting about him is, one, he's a comedian, which is nice. It's fun to tell jokes and have people laugh. But also what's interesting about him is that he lives with his parents. He's still in his early 40s, and he still lives at home with his parents. Is that fireworks? Is someone getting shot outside? I wonder if you guys could hear that. I'm outside a minor league ballpark in Kansas City waiting for the T-Bones or T-Birds, one of those games to start, and I think they just set off fireworks. But, so Manolis lives at home. It's a fun episode. We kept it semi-short, I think. And also, it's the first semi-live episode because I just... Jesus, all right. What are they setting off? I'm such a child. I'm intrigued by any loud noises. But I had these he brought a couple of his friends in to do this show. It was before we did the show at the Secret Show in Toronto, in the pot room. And he brought some of his friends who were going to come see the show too. I think there are a couple of young comics from Hamilton, Ontario, from just south of Toronto. And so I just left the other two mics on, and they just sort of like watched and laughed a little and then joined in here or there when they had to. So it was like, I don't know, semi-live. You might be able to hear laughter in the back. I'm not really sure. But it was fun, so please sit back and enjoy it. Shroomfest is coming, you guys. Don't sleep. Get them now. You got to get them now if you don't have them. July 21st, July 22nd, July 23rd. One of those 2 days. People are getting converted all the time. It's time to think about it. Go for it. Shroomfest 2012. Be a part of history. The only Shroomfest in 2012. If you're not familiar with what it is, Shroomfest is an international mushroom festival where everyone around the world does mushrooms. Magic mushrooms, not shiitake. So get some mushrooms and be ready to do them. Plan out your trips. If you haven't ever done it before, of course, use this as an excuse. Kansas City was fun, by the way. I'm here at Stanford and Sons. I still have like a day and a half left, but it's been cool. When fans come out, shows are way, way better. It just really is. And in fact, even the rednecks that are here. Most people are cool, but there are some rednecks, and the rednecks are cool too. I always forget, when I go to the Midwest, I always think everybody's Christian-y and Bible belty, but then I realize, like, this is where meth and blowjobs come from. You know? They'll get everything. Drugs, they get jokes about drugs. Some dates I have coming up. My Storyteller show is Tuesday, May 22nd at the Improv in Hollywood. It's a really good lineup. Tom Segura from the Your Mom's House podcast, Ralphie May from my last podcast, Kyle Kinane. He did one of my podcasts, actually, about being an alcoholic. I think it was like, let's see if this has it right here. No, it does not. It was down there. It was like 10-ish, number 10-ish. Who else? John Huck, who was awesome on the first show that he did. Oh, TJ Miller from, I don't know, it doesn't matter what they're from. He was from Cloverfield. But it doesn't matter what they're from. It's just they're all good storytellers. So this will be a really good one. Like, no one's bad in this one at all. And then I'm missing somebody, too. Kinane, Ralphie, TJ, John Huck. And there's one more. I can't remember what it was. It was somebody good, though. God damn it. It wasn't Pete Holmes. God damn it. I don't remember who it was. Hold on, I'm pausing. Oh, and Tom Segura. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a great show. And it's all stories of near-death experiences. Times we've all almost died. It was hard to book this one because a lot of people, that just hasn't happened to them. So I'm a little worried about my story because I've never really told it before to anybody. So come out, and all the proceeds mean money if you're not Jewish. All the money we get is going to Planned Parenthood. I just said, fuck it, I'll just donate it. And the podcast for this show is almost ready to go. My assistant, the guy who's helping with it, has already done 3 shows, all, digitized. So they're ready to go. So it should be, I got to give them some more, and then I want to switch off episodes. Some of the audio was like blech, but the audio is better now. So anyway, yeah, so come to that, May 22nd, it's Tuesday. Just get your tickets. It's $5. And we give away, If you haven't seen the posters we make, they're fucking rad. Kevin Christie makes them. And I give one away at the end of the show, a framed, signed copy by all the comedians. One every episode. There's guys that have been coming there every week, and they still have not won. And it's so, not every week, every month, but it's so frustrating. I'm like, man, I want you to win. And then it just does not happen. So anyway, in terms of dates, I got that on Tuesday. But then if it's later than May 22nd, I got Connecticut in June, the first week of June, at Comics at Foxwoods. These are all on my website, by the way. Go to arithegreat.com. San Francisco on June 13th. At Cobb's Comedy Club, one show only. And then Sacramento, the 14th through the 17th of June. Shows. My next storyteller show after this, I think we might change that. It's supposed to be the 19th, but I think we might change it to the 26th because I'm having surgery on my knee on the 18th. So there's like no way I'm going to be able to do it. I'm in Ottawa in July at the Blues Fest, the first 4 days with Paula Bell, my neighbor from downstairs. And then the rest is in like August. I got New Jersey at Stress Factory, Las Vegas at the Paris Comedy Club, and all right, Cap City later. All right, everybody, are we ready to start? Oh yeah, fucking sponsors. Well, first I got, you guys are doing it. I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate it. You guys are going through my website to go to Amazon.com. You're clicking on that banner, so it's the money's starting to come in, so it's cool. I appreciate it. Keep doing it. Whenever you shop for Amazon, just go through arithegreat.com first, then head to Amazon, and then they just give me a cutback. But also, Gamefly.com, if you don't know, if you just sign up for a free 15-day trial, they slide me some cash, and that fucking adds the fuck up. So if you haven't done it yet, Gamefly.com, it's just like a rental place for video games. It's just like Netflix for video games. Like whatever's coming out, whenever anything's coming out, just get that. And if it sucks, because a lot of games do, I just saw they had that game Battleship, and I'm like, there's no way. There's a commercial for this because there's no way this game is going to be good. Battleship the game, unless it's just Battleship, like the board game that you can play online with somebody, that might be okay. But otherwise, there's no way that game's going to be good. And you spend fucking $40 for a game, and they can't do shit with it. They have that commercial. It's actually a funny commercial. People trying to give their game back, and then everybody only gets offered $9. It's fucking bullshit. I guess I'm allowed to be anti-video game industry, right? Yeah, just don't fucking waste our time. Just tell us when something's going to be bad, please. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. You're stuck with something shitty. So go to Gamefly. If you go to Gamefly, you can just try out the game. If you hate it after 3 days, you just send it right back. And you're just done with it. So go to my website. Go to Gamefly.com/Ari, or go through my website. There's a link on there underneath the two Amazon banners on the right. There's a Gamefly.com link. And it's the same thing. Free 15-day trial. Just do it. Keep it if you want afterwards. Cancel it if you want. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, welcome to the episode. Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank, number 60. Manolis Zontanos. Oh, I got no name for this yet, but it's something about living at home. Piece of shit degenerate. Something like that. Something like that. I'll think of something. I'll know by the end of the episode. Oh, no. Okay. Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank, episode 60. Living the Dream with Manolis Zontanos.
Stand in the place where you live. Now face no. Think about direction, wonder why you haven't now. Stand in the place where you were. Now face west. Think about the place where you live, wonder why you haven't.
Yes, okay, we're going.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Manolis Zontanos, my only Greek friend.
Zontanos.
Zontanos. Oh, Zontanos?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Alive. Actually.
Alive?
It's a word in Greek.
Okay.
It means alive.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I like Greeks.
Yeah, they're all right.
We have one that lived at the corner of on my street, or the little cul-de-sac. I think they were called the Papadopoulos was their name, but we called them the Pop the Weasels.
Okay.
We just didn't know any better, and I was positive that was their names, the Pop the Weasels, for a while. So the reason I'm here with Manolis, and by the way, if you guys have something like you said before about the only comic in Hamilton, then you're welcome to join in. Just pick up a mic and just say something. But in the meantime, I'm here talking to Manolis. He is the oldest guy I know still lives with his parents.
Right.
How old are you?
I am 41.
Jesus! And how long you lived at home?
I guess about 5 years now.
Okay, you moved back in at 36.
About 35, 36, yeah.
What happened? What preceded that?
Well, I owned a house before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm just trying to get your story. I don't know.
No, yeah. No, I don't. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, I owned a house.
Like, yeah, I owned a house.
And I owned a house. I actually bought it with a friend, a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
At the time, I decided to grow weed.
Yeah.
In the house.
Oh.
And, yeah. I had to grow up in the house about 100 plants.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know any of this.
I lived I rented a house before that, and I lived there for like a good 5 years, and I used to grow. We rented that house, being a bunch of buddies of mine.
What kind of weed did you grow?
Any kind. It was like it was skunk
Okay.
mostly.
You used to grow weed, and you couldn't bring any weed to this goddamn hotel room. You guys, seriously disappointing. I was so sure as soon as Patrick gets here, we'll have some weed.
I grew weed for a long time.
Yeah.
And you
made money out of it?
Yeah, I was living for free for a long time, like for rent free, because originally I only had 30 plants, and we're just keeping it low like that. And so I decided that I wanted to fucking, I remember I'm allowed to swear on this.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I wanted to fucking like make some real money.
Radio. Can you not curse on Canadian radio? No.
No, and so I bought this house and because I didn't want to deal with landlords anymore.
You didn't want to.
Like it's tough when you have like at one time my landlord wanted to check the house out for some reason, so we had to put 30 plants in a bedroom and cook bacon while he came to check the basement out, and you just didn't want to have to deal with that kind of shit anymore. So I just fucking bought a house, and I had about 70 plants, or no, like close to 100. And then what happened was the guy that I was doing the house with, his job was to kind of be there every night just to make it look like someone lived there.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. My friend does that. It's like he has houses just for the grow.
Right.
But then it's like someone needs to live there so he can see people coming in and out.
Right. And it's not that I was living there too, but I was also actually living there and living at my parents' house because I couldn't tell my dad, hey, I bought a house. And he's like, can I see it? It's like, yeah, but not the basement.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So...
Yeah.
So I was working as a lifeguard at the time.
Did you have any thought to doing like a Breaking Bad move where you get so much money that you buy your parents' house off them and kick them out and just have a grow there?
No, I never thought that. That would have made it a lot easier though.
That would have been baller. Yeah.
So so he doesn't stay, and then one day he goes to me, he goes, I have a fucking breakdown. I literally have a breakdown. I'm like, we're gonna get caught. You're never here, because he had a girlfriend too, and he didn't want to bring his girlfriend there because the house reeked of pot. Because like 100 plants, right? So then what happened was he fucking stays one night, and all of a sudden he sees someone in the back of the house, and he moves the window, the curtain, and he sees this guy in the walk around to the front of the house, and he's got a long overcoat, and he's writing fucking notes, and he looks at him, and they look at each other, and then he just pretends he doesn't see him, walks to the corner, a fucking car backs up, unmarked, he gets in, and they drive away. Right?
Okay.
So now I'm like, Jesus Christ, the fucking cops know.
Oh. You're paranoid.
Yeah. Well...
Yeah.
So the next day, I wake up. The next day I wake up and I fucking go. I say, "Fuck it, I have to do it." So I put like 200 plants in garbage bags, like because I had a starter room too, and then I put the babies.
What's a starter room?
Well, like because it's like it's a 10-week cycle.
Yeah.
So like what happens is like at the about 3 weeks in, you cut sides of the stems off, and then you put them in this orange powder, and then you put in dirt, and then you start your babies that way. But a lot of times what happens is I had a whole thing I figured out in my head, because the babies are always ready to go in before your fucking 10 weeks are up. See, sometimes you gotta go 11 because you want to get them thicker. So what you do is you buy one more light, because you can put like almost 80 plants under one light because you put all the pots together. You get smaller pots. So I did a starter room. So by the time these ones were done, I had 3 weeks on the next set.
Oh,
so I was shaving. I was shaving 3 weeks off a 10-week cycle.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. So
potheads are ingenious.
So I take everything and I throw it in garbage bags, and I get rid of it. I get rid of all of it, and I'm clear. And then about 2 weeks later, my buddy wants to stay there because there's no weed, so he's actually staying there for a fucking change. This literally ruined our friendship. We're not friends anymore. he goes, he's staying there, and all of a sudden someone tries to break the fucking door down.
Who?
Just some guy, right? Just some guy starts going at the front door, goes boom, trying to kick it down. He opens the door, and he looks at the guy. He goes, "What are you doing?" So the guy looks at him. And he goes, "I live here." I'm like, "You live here? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? I live here." And the guy goes, "Call the cops." And he goes, "I will." So he calls the cops, and fucking 12 cop cars show up in a fucking second. So there was a fake. It was an undercover. Like in Canada, if you watch the fucking news, what they do is they always say every time they get a big bust, right? They say, "Oh, the cops are investigating a B&E." So they send a fake.
Really?
Yeah. So that way they don't have to get a warrant.
So they can just kick at the door.
No, they send a fake criminal.
Oh, a fully fake criminal. Really?
Yeah. So they send in a fake criminal, and then what?
Say you live there. Get them loaded up with liquor and be like, "Hey, here's your house. Remember how you live here?" And then
just break in, like, right? and then they have the cops who are like someone calls, like someone's trying to break in that house, and then the cops go investigate.
And they call and they smell weed.
Smell weed, and we found the weed and everything. Then they get busted. Oh, right. So 12 cop cars show up, and the one guy went to high school with
12 cop cars who are breaking and entering.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Try to call a cop for anything. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and see if they even show up. You call them.
Do you guys hate the police here in Canada too, or is it just like blacks in America? Yeah. Everybody does.
I'm sure they could be worse, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the cops.
I used to try to like be on the side of like fuck the police until I realized like, oh no, they help keep me safe like all the time. Just their existence in general, just the fact that there are police means people aren't murdering me.
Well,
like,
I mean, there is a good point to them, and like, yeah, maybe there won't be someone in your living room when you get home because there's cops.
But when you're trying to just sit peacefully and grow 100 pot plants, then they become a problem.
Yeah, they're dicks, right? Yeah. So, anyways, the one dude knew my buddy, right? Yeah. From high school, and he looks at him and like he gave a tell. That's what was the funny about it. He goes, he's like looking around.
One dude, which one dude?
One dude was a cop.
Okay.
He actually went to high school with my buddy that I owned the house with because I bought the house with a friend of mine. And he looks at my buddy and he looks at him. He goes like this. He goes, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
He goes, I live here. He's like, you live here? It's like, oh. And like all weirded out, so he's basically like, we were here for something else.
Manolis.
Yeah, we're here for Manolis. Fucking the rest of them. And then what happened? That same oh fuck. And at the same time, my buddy that was also an ex-friend, he would sell. So I had like I got rid of all the weed. I had
with cops took it all.
No. I got one cycle done. That's all I did. So I took the one.
You did one cycle and that was it?
Well, yeah, I did one cycle. I did tons of cycles in my old place, but I did one cycle in this new house.
Yeah.
So I did one cycle, and then I sold it all, and I gave it to my one buddy. I sold him I gave him $3,000 worth of weed, and he was supposed to get rid of it. And at the same time as that happened, I knew he was like he sold cocaine, right, for a living. And
I definitely want to say this. No matter what you do in life, you should always trust cokeheads. It's just good words to live by.
I know. So
they'll always be there for you. They go out of their way to help, and they never fuck up.
He was like he was a freebaser himself, right?
Uh-huh.
But he'd always. I knew him from Greece. I saw him in Greece. Like every time I went to Greece, he was there too. That's how we became friends.
Yeah.
And so we were friends. I used to move shit through him for years.
Yeah.
And this last one time, he gets caught with this distributing cocaine. Yeah, horrible. So he goes in. He went into jail for the night, gets out. I see him a couple days later. He tells me this as I give him $3,000 worth of weed. Now, at this point, my shit happens with the cops after that. After that. So what happens is I give him the weed, and then he just doesn't call me. He fucks me for 3 Gs. So as he fucks me for 3 Gs, this shit happens where this guy tries to break in my house, and I have to get rid of the weed. So I think he told the cops about my place to get a fucking out.
Do you still think that?
I still think that, yeah. And he still owes me 3 Gs to this day. And then about.
Do you think you're going to get that money back?
Never. Yeah. No. He actually fucking found me on Facebook, and it was hilarious. He goes, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" It was like 6 years later.
Yeah.
6 fucking years later or something. It's like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" So I go, "Hey, buddy, how's my $3,000?" Yeah. And he says this. He goes, "Hey, man, that was a long time ago."
Yeah. when people owe you money, once they've made it in their head like I'm not going to be paying back that money, then they just forget about it.
Yeah.
They just completely like, I just don't owe it anymore. They don't get nervous or weird or ashamed. They just it's been paid back.
So then I want to back up like.
Wait, okay, when you lived with your parents
Okay.
during this time, you owned a house pretty much.
I owned a house, yeah.
So that you could grow weed in it.
Right.
And you lived with your parents because you didn't want to tell them, look, I have my own house.
Yeah.
You didn't think of like getting an apartment or something?
Well, what money am I going to have for an apartment at this
So
point?
you had no job to justify. So it was all about your parents, like telling them how you.
Well, I was working as a lifeguard actually.
So you couldn't say that was enough to buy an apartment or like have a.
Well, how would I get the apartment? I wouldn't have any. I spent like $5,000 on just equipment for weed at that point. Like,
Oh, you had no money.
well, I had money coming in, but I didn't have extra money. I'm like, I'll get an apartment and own a house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I made a decision. You know, I was living on my own already at that point. About a month.
You went back to live at your parents' house.
Well,
at 35.
About at 35, yeah. But like about a month before that, like as I was starting to grow, and I actually got lost at the border, and I actually it was 2 weeks after September 11th. I remember that I got lost at the border, and I went in.
Because it was September 25th. That's how you remembered.
No, I just remember it was 2 weeks after September 11th.
Oh yeah.
I
remember specifically.
I had weed in my trunk, and I was going to sell it to this comedian at the time, and I didn't see him, and I got lost on the way to Niagara Falls, and I went.
Wait, what?
I was going to Niagara Falls.
Okay.
Yucks.
Yeah.
And on the way, I went.
Niagara Falls, he said. You say that very fast.
Oh,
Sounds like you're saying Nigger Falls. Oh. I don't think it's
Niagara Falls,
yeah.
man. And
I went to Niagara Falls on a bus trip once from sleepaway camp, and I stole a deck of cards, like a little deck of cards, or like that big, the size of your finger, like your thumb. I remember stealing it. I was like, I want these, and I was like, I don't have any money. I just saw them at my parents' house. I went home to visit, and I was like, oh, you stole this stuff I stole. It's nice. It's like 25 years ago. Anyway, that's the memory of Niagara Falls.
I basically the next thing I realized I was at the border
With a bunch of weed on you.
with just an ounce in my trunk.
An ounce is a lot.
Yeah, and I realized I had to do only way to get now. I had to do a UE, but I had to go through Canadian customs, even though I haven't been over the States. Yeah, so this is all happening like this. This happens before the thing happens with Mike, before the thing happens with the cops.
Yeah. So what happened at the border?
So the guy, I pull up and I'm fucking green. I'm just literally green. Like already, I'm like sick to my stomach because I'm a whore. I'm not good at lying, right? And he goes, "Oh, it was a chick." She goes, "How long you been over?" And I go, 2 hours. So what do you do? What were you doing over there?
Oh, that sounds even worse.
Yeah. I go.
If you just said, honestly, I didn't realize I was going this way. I just did a U-turn.
No, but see, I did that like a decade ago, and I had no drugs. So when I said, I just did a U-turn, I got lost. They searched my car.
Oh.
They searched me. So I knew that. In my head, like, I thought there's going to be a So I go, 2 hours. It's like, what were you doing there? I go, I had to see a buddy.
For 2 hours. That
For
sounds
2 hours.
like drugs.
Yeah. I don't even, like, because I'm so panicked at that
Yeah.
point. I'm like, why did I fucking say that?
Yeah.
Why? Right? So,
Yeah, say like all day. I don't know. Or even like 2 hours. I got a hooker. Like whatever you want to say.
yeah.
You can say so many
I could have
things.
said a million things. I
Yeah.
could have said a million things.
I had to see a buddy about a thing. Why are you asking?
What? So she gives me a yellow ticket and she goes, go pull over there. And in my head, my life's over, right? My fucking life's over.
Did you think about running at that point?
So at that point, I strive to go where they check your car and I just fucking go and I hit it and I run.
You did?
I run.
Oh, so I guess a lot of you was thinking to run. I guess that's my answer. I was like, what percentage of you was thinking of going? But you just ran?
I drove away.
And what happened?
I got my car up to about $180 on the fucking highway, and I remember that night being weird because I remember there was no one in the fast lane for some reason, and so I'm just going by cars like shoom, 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 like that, and I make it back to Yuck Yucks, and I go into Yuck Yucks, and I just I get Tom Stade, this comedian that lives in the UK now, and this guy Joe, he managed the club, and I bring him. I hit the weed, I hit the pound of weed, and then I went to. I threw a half quarter out my window because I had that with me. My weed was in my spare tire, so
Yeah.
I grow them together, and I just tell them what I just told you.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. I'm just checking this out. It's all right.
All right.
Yeah.
So I put them together. I go, this is okay. Listen, this is what just happened.
Yeah.
and like this. I tell him, and he goes, and the guy goes, well, why would you do that? And I'm like, well, listen, dude,
not helping. I don't need this.
Yeah, it's not. What do I do now? And Tom Stade goes, hey, man, just tell me how to joint. Go back and just tell me how to joint. Yeah. I'm like, no, that's a horrible idea, right? So the owner at the time of the club, or the manager, says, like, let's just call him back. What?
Breslin?
Not Breslin. No.
But someone's trying to help you out.
He decides to go call the cops and just says, hey, we got a situation. And then this is what happened. He got lost at the border, and he was going to get fired for not being at the show on time because he's a comedian. And they go, blah, blah, blah. He's, right? Not bad. And he goes,
call you an idiot saying he freaked out. Sorry.
So they go, blue Honda Civic? Yeah. Manolis Zontanos? Yeah. Oh, we got an APB on that guy. We'll be right over. So at that point, Angelo Zarukas, I don't know if you know him, he was there that night too. So everybody was like, yeah, right. Yeah, Manolis, you ran the border. Everybody kind of thought like I was bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And then like fucking 3 cop cars show up. You know, that's what I mean. Fucking someone calls a B&E on my house, 11 cop cars show up. I fucking run the border, only 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
3 cop cars show up, and
where's APB?
All points bulletin or something.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like I was wanted Canada.
Okay. Wow.
That was what was happening.
Now, when you knew you had an APB out for you and you wanted in Canada, how hard was your boner?
I was like, all I could think was like, I just thought I'm going to fucking jail.
Yeah.
I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
Right. And
yeah, I'm sure.
And cops show up, and they're like standing in the hallway and just like, fucking, why'd you run the border? Hey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just like, oh man, I don't know. I was just like, got lost, and I was gonna lose my job, and I just kind of left, dude. I don't know what I was thinking. And this one cop started laughing. I was like, okay, I'm cool with him.
Yeah.
But there's this one chick, she was being a bit of a cunt, and I just kind of focused on him, and he said, okay, right, you come with me. You're gonna come with me. Can you drive right now? I'm like, yeah, I can drive. So I fucking get in my car, and I have to follow this cop back to the border for them to check my car. So at this point, which is cool because now
the weed is gone.
The weed's gone.
Yeah.
And so I go in. I'm walking with the cop. I remember he was right beside me. I'm walking with him, and I go, okay, dude, like, because he's kind of my friend now. He's being cool to me, and I go, dude, please, because I don't know what's going to happen. I go, please, dude, whatever you do, please don't leave me. Just don't leave me, okay? Just don't leave me. And he goes, okay, I won't leave you. Just calm down, all right? Calm the fuck down. He yells at me. And I go, okay. So we go in, and he talks to the border cops, and they go, hey, listen, we checked his record. He doesn't have a record. We checked the story. It seems to be true, and I don't know what to tell you. I think the guy's a fucking retard, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. That's great.
Right in front of me, he says, I think he's a retard. And I'm like standing there, like listening to this and going, I'm just like, yes, I will be the retard if that gets me out of this situation. They searched my car, and I had to pay a $200 fine, and then and then I just left, and that was it. And I was like, fucking. But it stayed in my record for a long time. Every time I came through any kind of like customs, like through airports and stuff, I'd always get pulled over.
They marked you.
They marked me, and I remember one time I knew for sure because I remember one time they had my suitcase, and the guy's like this because they flagged me, and the guy's going to. He's like typing, and goes, "You ran the border?" Like that. Yeah. So that happened. Yeah, so that happened. So at that point, all this shit happens, and I just said, fuck it. And I almost got caught with the fake beanie, and I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. I'm just going to fucking sell this house and just tell jokes. That's it. That's all my goal was at that point. I can't try to take shortcuts. I was just trying to take a shortcut to make some extra cash, maybe like make enough money and then fucking move to LA. So I sold the house. I was trying to sell a house. At that point, my mom got lymph node cancer literally at that point. So
cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. My life is awesome. And so that was like weird. And so I ended up being with her for I'm still there anyways because I'm awesome. And but I ended up having to take care of her, taking her to doctor appointments. And
that's when you were living there.
And I was now at that point, when she started getting lymph node cancer, the house is pretty well gone, and they never knew I owned a house, and I just still was living at home as far as they were concerned. And then she got better a year and a half ago, and everything's cool. And I ended up having to quit my job because my job was like either you do stand up or fucking
One or the other.
One or the other. So I had to quit my job, and then so like half my income was gone, and then and then at that point I was kind of like stuck living at home.
Yeah.
Because now I didn't have extra coin, and I wasn't going to grow weed again, so now I have to listen and make sure my dad doesn't come down the stairs when I masturbate.
So what?
Like that's where I'm at in my life.
Where do you live? Like give me the layout of the house.
Well, I have a bedroom upstairs. That's where I sleep. But everything is
with their bedroom.
What? No, like they have their own bedrooms.
No, I'm saying upstairs where their bedroom is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that'd be.
You looked at Patrick. I'm like, what? What did you tell?
Like you wanted to say something.
I guess he does want to say. Do you want to say something? Okay. So I sleep upstairs, but I live in the. I spend most of my time in the. There's a basement.
Is it like a rumpus room? Like has it been redone?
It's just a giant. Yeah, it's okay. It's just a place I got. It's my computer is. It's where I fucking beat the shit out of my cock.
Why don't you sleep down there?
Because my dad would yell.
In your room?
What?
You don't masturbate in your room?
No, I masturbate in the basement. That sounds so weird when you say it like that.
Yeah.
Where do you masturbate? In the basement. No, the worst. This is not, like I don't care about masturbating in the basement. This is my biggest pet peeve of living at home. Is like my dad.
Yeah.
Seems to have some sort of sixth sense. Is that am I saying that right?
Yeah. Sixth.
Whatever.
No, you got it right.
Yeah. Sixth sense. Like he seems to know whenever I'm going to masturbate.
Really?
Like every time I get my cock out, like I get on some porn thing and I start watching, all I hear is my dad come down the stairs, like this, and I'm like, fucking, I have to like that and go to Facebook and pretend I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like how do you it happens so often. Like I could like do nothing. There could be no one coming downstairs for 2 hours, and then boom, I just go. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go kill it to some porn. And then boom.
Is the downstairs like when you walk down the stairs, you're in where you're doing porn, or is there another room?
Yeah, no. Like he at the as soon as he comes around that corner, it's like boom.
Okay, so when you hear the steps coming, you're already switching.
Yeah, I have to. Right. And like I've had those days where like I'm almost like because I'm tired, dude. It's been a long fucking life, and I've at that point sometimes I'm like fuck it. I'm not gonna stop.
Really?
I've had moments where like I should just fucking just keep going.
What, Dad? What? The garbage? I'll get it. Give me 5 minutes. Have you ever had him come down when you were like almost done, where it's like really hard to stop?
Well, there's been a couple times where I've started coming and I hear him come downstairs. And I just pull my pants and do him up and jizz in my pants.
Just keep it going.
I can't stop jizzing.
Yeah.
It's already a jizz comes out and there's like 3 more coming, so I just let them go.
I'm like you can like pull back and like hold it in.
No, I'm past the point. I just fucking.
That was my best masturbation ever. I was working the North Hill service desk at University of Maryland. They had this desk where people would go for like their packages, or if they lost their keys, or if they needed to look up a phone number or something. And so I would only masturbate there on the really late shifts, like the 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. But there was this other desk like right next to it that would only be open for like 12 to 6 p.m.
Right.
6 p.m. And there were classrooms there. It was the bottom of Anne Arundel Hall, University of Maryland. There were classrooms that were in that bottom of that dorm. And so people would come by, and I would just sneak all the way up to the desk, like so I'm here, so you can't see it, and just masturbate underneath, like, slowly touch it up. But then somebody would come out, or like a class would get out, so I'd have to like stop, and just like pull my pants like a little higher up, and be like, "Hi, do you need anything?" I would help people, and then when it just kept getting interrupted over and over again, someone would come through the front doors right there in front of me.
Right.
And I'm like, hi, and just push my stomach all the way up. They can't say anything because no one's coming in from behind me. That's safe. And by the time I finally came, it was like an hour and 15 minutes of just beating it. It was the best orgasm I've ever had.
Just jizz everywhere.
It was like, I just lost control of my body. I just started convulsing. Yeah, it was the same thing. Then people started coming, but it was like, it's just happening. I'm getting electrocuted for like a good 5 minutes. God, that was a good orgasm. I've been chasing that dragon forever. What?
Is it hard to act professional out immediately once you stop masturbating to go right into I'm just a person who's working right now?
Work the desk, yeah. Luckily, that desk, nobody really bothered us for stuff. We were just there.
You didn't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah, that was a problem.
Just there to unload.
Right afterwards. Be like, what? You locked your key out? Who cares? I just came in my pants.
Again.
Yeah.
I had a hand job from a chick one time on a bus for like 4 hours. Like, but it was on the outside of my pants.
Gently rubbing.
Yeah, because the bus was packed.
Were you all chafed up afterwards?
It was horrible because 2 hours in, they stopped. It was going from Athens or Kalamata to Athens, and then Athens. I was flying back to Canada.
Athens, Georgia?
Greece.
Rome. Oh.
So
They have an Athens in Greece now?
it's popular.
Yeah.
This is the worst part, though. This is the worst part because I already decided in my head I'm just going to go to a stall and fucking pull it and just so I can because I was like wanted to come. I go in Greece in the washrooms. They have like you go in and there will be a Greek old lady by the sink and you have to give her fucking some money, some drachmas.
So she can give you like a towel or something?
Just for like the toilet paper.
Oh, wow, really?
So I had to buy because I knew I was going to go to a stall. I wasn't taking a shit. I was going to masturbate. So I just grabbed some toilet. I bought some toilet paper. I thought I might go great because I can use this to jizz in. I just had a gentle 2-hour hand job on the fucking bus.
Yeah.
So I go in there and I start trying to fucking masturbate, right? And the whole time I'm like, I couldn't come just because I knew there was this
lady,
old Greek lady was fucking 5 feet away from me by the sink.
Yeah. It's tough.
And I'm like, just trying to fucking masturbate, and I'm like, I could. So then I go on the back on the bus, and then I go for another 2-hour drive where she's just still gently fucking playing with my
You should
fucking.
have done it on the bus bathroom.
But there was no bathroom on there. That's why we stopped there. That's what the journey is.
I wouldn't have needed the toilet paper. I would have just came and just aimed it into the toilet.
Yeah, I know, but
I did that at the airport the other day, by the way, but I got a lot of it on the seat.
Just so you know,
I felt bad. I cleaned it up. What?
Someone's gonna sit on it.
Someone's gonna. Yeah, I felt bad. I cleaned it up. I was like, no one should have to sit and cum. That's beyond. I'll pee on the seat if it happens, but like
famous cum, it makes it okay.
Yeah, like Tom Cruise went in there and just sign it. This is Tom Cruise's semen. It'd be a lot easier. Okay,
so anyways,
where were we in terms of? Okay, so that's that's where you live, in the basement of this house. And
yeah.
Do like your parents give you rules and stuff? Do they want you out? Like, there's a lot.
My dad, he's very disappointed in me.
He is disappointed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember that time that me and Spencer were there?
What happened?
We were hanging out. I think it was like a weeknight. And we're in his basement, we're hanging out, and then his cell phone rings, and he answers it, and he's like, hello? Yep. Okay, bye. Hey guys, that was my dad. He's calling from upstairs. He says you guys have to leave because I'm not allowed to have friends over after midnight.
Wow. Really? Wow. He just called. He was like, this idiot.
Yeah, he couldn't even just shout from upstairs.
He didn't want to deal with it.
He was like, he just decided in his head. Like, my dad's 83 years old and he's grumpy as fuck, right? He's a cool dude, but he's grumpy as fuck. So if he just in his head, he just sees two guys getting drunk in my basement with me. They're half my age. It seems a little weird. He wants them out. He thinks but look at Patrick. He looks at Patrick. He's like, I don't know about him. Get out.
Yeah.
Pat always.
Because you're keeping him up?
No, because he thinks my dad he thinks you're a bum.
Oh, that's it.
He just looks at you and he likes you, but he thinks you're a bum.
Like,
Rouse is not allowed in my house.
Rouse? Rouse is a bad influence on everybody.
Yeah.
Rouse looks like someone. Are you putting it on your chin? Can you take it off your chin?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it just makes noise when you rub
yeah,
it back and forth on your.
Pat always tells the story of like, as Manolis was growing up,
condoms.
his friends would get older and older with Manolis, like as he aged. Until 20, and then it just cut off, and all of his friends stayed 20, and Manolis kept getting older.
Because if I go over there, he's just like he'll be like sitting outside on the bench or something. And he'll see me come up, and he just opens the door. Manoli, your friend's here.
Manoli.
It's so funny. It's like it reminded me of like being 12, going over to your friend's house.
Manoli.
So I broke up with this girl a couple years ago now.
Yeah.
And she was my last serious girlfriend that I've had in a while. And so we went out for about a year and a half. And my dad was like, oh my dad's all these kids. Like, maybe this will be the one. Get her pregnant. He'll get a regular job and stop doing this fucking comedy bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
And so what happens? We end up breaking up anyways. But before that ever happened, I was like, one day I was just like about to fuck my girlfriend in my parents' basement.
I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
You have sex with people there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, girls.
In the basement, though.
Yeah.
Do you have a bed down there?
No, a couch.
Couch, okay.
There's a couch.
Yeah.
But it's not that often, believe it or not. Her was often because
I believe it. I wasn't going to fact check you on that.
41-year-old guy who lives at home doesn't get laid a lot? What?
No. It's so weird. So yeah.
So I go. I was banging my girlfriend as usual in the basement, and one day, and then I just looked at a condom one day. Like it looked weird to me before I opened it up. I'm like, something was with the package, and I looked at it closely, and I'm like, there's a hole in it.
In the condom?
Yeah, but not. I hadn't pulled the condom out. It was like the plastic that covered the packaging. It was like there. I looked on the other side, so someone had put
A needle?
a pin through the whole thing.
All the condoms.
So then I looked through all my condoms because I have a bowl of condoms, and I started going through them all, and about 12, there was like 20 in there, and about 12 of them had holes in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad basically thought in his head, like, this is my last. Yeah. I am not fucking kidding you. My dad in his head thought, this is my last chance. If he doesn't get this chick pregnant, it's over for my son. So
Like he's never going to get anybody.
He's not gonna. It's my.
He wanted you to knock her up?
Yeah, he didn't want. He tried to get me to knock her up by poking holes in all my condoms.
Oh my God.
But he's so old, he doesn't think, like, he didn't do it. Like, if I was going to do it, I wouldn't put the pin right through the whole package. So the other side of the package, there's a piece of plastic that's kind of broken open in the middle that made me see, like, so.
How big? I'm trying to think how big that would be.
The hole?
Yeah. Just a pin.
Well, my dad was 80 years old at the time,
What, you
right?
put a pencil through it?
But in his head, like, a
Yeah.
pin, like, he probably did it a couple times. He thought, he's not.
It's Greek custom.
Yeah.
You probably just thought you wouldn't notice. You just
Yeah.
rip it open.
Most times you don't. Most times you reach for a condom. You just grab
Yeah,
one and
yeah.
tear it open.
Yeah, and
then
that
just
was
put it-
one probably, like, I don't know, like,
You
and
probably banged her a few times with a hole in the condom.
Probably.
And then just got lucky.
I probably got lucky, but I try to make a habit of also, like, just coming outside of the vagina, even if I wear a
Like
condom.
double protection.
But yeah,
Yeah.
my way. I don't know.
Some people do that. Pull
I don't-
out and condom.
Yeah, I don't want
I
to be
don't
hanging out
understand that.
off a balcony.
I had sex with a girl once. It was like a long time ago. But we did it without a condom, and I was like, whatever, worried, but not too worried that she was going to have a baby. But, I'd pull out every time. And then she told me she was on the pill, and I was like, oh, why am I pulling out? And she was like, no, you have to pull out. I was like, what?
Well,
What a chip.
Why wouldn't you just want to rather be safe though?
That's safe. She's on the pill.
Yeah, but
That's the safe.
Yeah.
Although I did get a girl pregnant who was on the pill once.
there you go.
Yeah. And she had an abortion, and there were complications, and she had a lot of bleeding.
Oh,
Yeah. I didn't find out until later. When she told me later about it, I was like, it was like 2 years later. I was like, do you want money? I don't know why you're telling. And she's like, no. I'm like, all right. Well, thanks, I guess.
yeah.
I appreciate it. That would have been really horrible for me.
She didn't consult you at all in the decision?
Which I was a little bit, I was like, what the fuck? Men have zero power when it comes to when a girl gets pregnant. Wanting it, not wanting it, it's not up to you. If I wanted a kid and I'm like,
Yeah.
And if I was, let's say I was semi like, what's the word when you can't have kids? Not
Sterile?
bad. Sterile, yeah. Let's say I was pretty sterile. Like it was like the odds are like way down, which happens to some people. And I finally got somebody pregnant. I'd be like, no, you can't. That's my only chance for a kid. Yeah. But she was like, no, I'm going to kill it. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, you
But
have no
nobody
control.
even cares. Nobody cares about what the guy thinks. If a guy wants to have a kid and the girl doesn't, she's allowed to do it. And
Yeah.
that's just the way that it is.
It just comes. And you're like, wait, so if you want this kid, okay, it's a month in.
yeah.
Can I just get out of this right now and not have any part of this? Because I don't want any
Yeah.
part of this. It's still I'll pay. Here's $300 that I would have given you for the abortion. and I'm completely out of responsibility. They're like, oh, no, you're responsible for the next 18 years.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think we should be allowed to get girls pregnant if we want to. Then
Just knock them up.
Yeah.
And then what?
I don't know. I haven't thought
You
that
haven't thought
far.
that through.
I'm still living in my parents' basement.
You are allowed to get girls pregnant if you want to. Oh, you mean without their consent? Just like,
But yeah,
no,
like
you're
I mean,
pregnant.
like you have no choice either. Then
Right.
if I don't have a choice if I can have one or not,
You shouldn't have a choice if you're
yeah,
pregnant.
the word sex, no matter what, should just be see what happens.
It's like fertilize them afterwards. If you come out, take all that stuff, and just shove it back in there. With like, yeah.
what are you gonna say, Patrick?
When?
Anyways,
So, okay, so you're fucking this girl in your basement. Do you have a girlfriend now?
no,
Do you bone at all? How often do you get laid?
a couple times a month maybe.
And where do you do it? Their place?
Usually their place or
Or
a
on the
friend's
road.
place or on the road. Yeah, I'm not too stressed about it. I mean, I've banged a lot of broads in my time, so
Yeah.
I'm
Your libido's gone down probably at this point.
yeah, a little bit, and I don't.
Mine has. At some point, I'm like, I've gotten laid. I'm not going to be out for the next 9 hours for the chance of it. That
Yeah,
would've been
that's
when I
my
was
thing.
22, but, like,
That's
not
what I
now.
mean. Like
Yeah.
I'm up for fucking, but I'm up fucking.
Right, but also
I'm not
my Game Boy's right there at home. Or my,
yeah, I'm
my
not
Xbox,
waiting.
So it's like,
I'm not waiting 6 hours to find out. Maybe I might get the fuck
Yeah.
you. These guys.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what
at the point with girls where
Not
they're like,
me.
"Hey, how about we go out?" I'm like, "How about we just fuck?" And then it's only 10:30. We can go out afterwards.
yeah.
We'll be out by 11:30. We'll still have 2 hours.
Or
to hang
you
out
could
and
go
drink.
out. We could fuck, and then you could just go out.
He pays.
And when you're done,
movie tickets.
come back, and then we could fuck again.
So you want to get out of that house? What do you?
Yeah,
want?
I do.
You do.
I do.
But what? Just comedy's not paying enough yet? You don't have another job, right?
Well, no, I mean, I do other jobs. I do background work too, and I do other jobs here and there if they come. But I mean, working in Canada is a lot different than
Yeah, I know. I've heard
think-
about the laws there. Not
Yeah.
the laws, but the SAG rules or whatever they have instead of SAG.
yeah.
You get paid a shitload less.
Actra.
Well, I'm talking about
Actra,
just working as a comedian. It's like you can't,
Oh yeah.
you know, like so like I can't just if I have a weekend off, I just have a weekend off.
Yeah, whenever they try here, where they're like, "Oh, are you going to be in our stable of comics? Are you going to be signed by?" I'm like, "Oh no, well, I'm just not taking part in that at all."
Yeah.
I'm like, "You can either book me or not book me. I don't care who you're at war with." I'm like, "If there's a great
Yeah.
club in Edmonton, I'm going to do that club."
Yeah.
like I don't care.
So when
just don't
I mean,
care.
yeah, I mean that's what you do. That's what you can do.
Yeah.
If you're in your situation, when I'm
not
in my
from here,
situation.
yeah. So you
I-
make some, and are you trying to save up to get out?
Yeah, I'm in a better situation I've ever been.
Why?
Well, I mean, just
In terms of
financially.
what? Okay.
Like, you know, like I'm zero debt, and I got a little bit saved, but now I just want to try to save some money and try to figure something out.
Yeah.
I'd like to go. I just want to go to LA.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You guys, there's no parents there to live with. I mean, you have to pay rent. If you
Well,
go
that's
there.
what I'm saving.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like, that's the thing. I have a car here too, right? I keep
Yeah.
that on the road. Like, if I go to LA, I won't have a car.
Oh, you need a car in LA.
Well, I haven't figured everything
You'll get
out.
one there.
Like,
Yeah,
you know, like
whatever.
it's either the car or maybe live with someone that has a car and like.
Would you
pay
get a
rent.
job if you go to LA?
If I could, yeah. I'm not opposed to working at all, man. I actually don't mind working.
You just haven't done it enough to.
Well, the thing is, it's like my dad could get me in the Ford tomorrow. I could work at Ford tomorrow and make cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
They make
but-
Fords here.
Yeah, they make Fords.
They make Fords in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not even Japan. Really? Toyotas, I could see.
but like well,
Ford's all supposed to. All they do in America is talk about Fords and Chevy. It's like that's American cars, American made.
but
That's
what
the only reason to buy it because they're shitty cars. So that's all they sell you on is like you're an asshole if you don't buy what your neighbor
Yeah, you're
has
not
built.
gonna buy. We made. I know.
Yeah, but you're like, but it's shitty. Make something nice, and then I'll buy it. John
Hondas
Reed,
are good.
John Reed, this comic, he used to be the Hemi guy. Do you remember those commercials?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was the Hemi guy. Hey, that thing got a Hemi. And it was for Dodge, which is like an American car company. And we saw him once. Me and David Taylor saw him once with driving a Lexus,
Right.
and it was like a new Lexus, like minivan or van or whatever.
That he probably bought with the
SUV.
money that he made from
Oh
the
yeah,
commercials.
totally. And we're like, you didn't buy an American car? And he goes, I bought it from an American. All right, well, good point. Good point. You supported at least one American in that purchase.
But I guess my point being is like as soon within a week I would have to tell them like yeah I can't work Thursday Friday
Yeah.
because I gotta go to Ottawa Yucks or something like that, right? And they'd be like
Oh yeah, it's tough.
they'd be like
It's tough.
no
Yeah, you can't. They don't accept that.
no yeah they'd be like you're fired,
Yeah.
you know, like so, and like that's why it's
Yeah. It's hard to have a job and do comedy.
yeah and
Especially with
it's
road.
the only it's the only thing that's still
So, do you pay rent there?
no
Totally 100% free. Groceries, nothing.
just my car.
So, what do you spend money on? Just food and booze?
Food on the road, booze,
Just food on the road. At home, you eat at home.
Yeah, I eat at home.
So, if everyone's going out to eat right before you go back to Hamilton, do you try to be like, I'll just wait till I get home to save money? Do you do that a lot?
No, I only eat out if I'm with the person. Like it's almost like cigarettes. I don't really enjoy a cigarette unless I'm.
You eat out with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel about going out. It seems lame to go out by yourself to a restaurant,
Yeah.
someplace. I'd rather go drive through a McDonald's and like go into a McDonald's by myself, and just sit there.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel sad.
By yourself.
Yeah, it
I've
just
never
feels
seen
sad.
a movie by myself in my life.
That's one where it's like I think I just did recently. Able to start doing that. It seems like such a stigma.
Seeing movies by yourself.
Yeah, it seems like that's the sign of loneliness.
I think seeing movies by yourself is fine.
Oh yeah, totally. Because you watch them at home alone. It just
Yeah.
used to be such a social thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, it has to be a date night or a friend. And then you realize, like, I just want to see this movie.
Yeah.
We're not talking the whole time anyway.
Yeah, which makes a point, but I've never been able to. And I don't think there's ever been a movie that I really want to see that bad.
The first time I decided to see more comics like on the road doing like headliner sets because they only seem to like 15 minutes in LA,
Right.
or if I'm in New York. But like, there's a couple like improvs right near LA that people do like full sets, like the Brea Improv and the Ontario Improv and the
Right.
Irvine Improv. It's like an hour away, and you can see like if somebody do like a headliner, like an hour, which is different, you know. So I went to see Bill Burr to see what he was doing.
Right.
But I didn't want to go through traffic to fucking sit there so I just went early and I watched that ballet movie.
Black Swan.
Black Swan, yeah, it was really good. I got super stoned in my car in the parking lot, went to see the ballet movie, and then went to watch Bill Burr and ate nachos in the back.
You took yourself on a date. You took yourself
I took
a
myself
night out on the town.
Movie and
Today's about Ari. Yeah, okay, so what does your mom say about this shit?
My mom would rather just me be around.
She likes you there.
She likes me there. My parents fight a lot.
Oh, really?
You can hear there's a voicemail that his dad left him. It's
Yeah.
on YouTube.
I will play it now.
Yeah, you can.
Hang on.
Okay. Say
I'll
that
find
thing
it.
about what you said about that young comic. Was that you said it before?
There's a 17-year-old comic in Hamilton in our city.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, there's only 2 comedians in our city who can get grounded, and it's Manolis, the 41-year-old man, and May Scaloni, the 17-year-old.
Have you ever been grounded? Like recently? They don't do that, do they?
No.
Because that's just punishing them more.
But this phone call sounds like you could get in trouble for not.
Hang on a
He doesn't
second.
check in
I'm just
with
waiting
parents.
for
There's
the.
also a Cribs video online that we did. If you want to check out his actual house.
A Cribs video?
Yeah, everything we're talking about is.
Pat, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that Cribs video.
Pat made a
Yeah,
Cribs
yeah.
video for
I've
him.
seen that Cribs video. Hey, I want to play
his
this because you said you hang out with all 20-year-olds. This is the scene from The Days of Confused. It reminds me of.
Search.
Wait.
Same old shit, man.
Yeah?
Working for the city.
Working man, huh?
Does your
Been
does
thinking
your
about
phone
getting back in school, though, man.
Back in JC, something like that?
Yeah, man. I mean,
Where's the part where he says about 20-year-olds? Oh, here it is.
but on the other hand, man, I just as soon keep working, keep a little change in my pocket.
Wait.
Rather than spend my time listening to some dipshit who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about anyway.
What you talking?
Does this remind you of you at all?
Listen, I still like young girls. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And
That's not the part about young girls. Just the part about, I don't want to listen to dipshit. I know how to live my life. Hold on. Here's the part. Some girl just passed. I love this so much.
About?
you find it.
Say you're a freshman, right?
Damn it. Where is it?
So tell me, man, how's this year's crop of freshman chicks looking?
What you gonna end up in?
All right, let's hear that part. Here's the message.
Message. Manolis, you be in the jail? And why are you calling me? Because I holy. Not too much, but I holy. Because I got a one shot for you don't understand nothing. No report. I told you a million times for that stupid things. Okay, I wait the answer. Okay? Bye.
Wow, he's got an
He has to check
accent. He's got a major accent. Is that on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put that up on my website. I want to compare this episode. I want to see this thing about the
I
20-year-old.
know that. Fact.
No, man. No, man, I tell you.
Here it is.
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
My favorite quotes of all time.
We saw Manolis with an 18-year-old recently.
18.
Remember the girl we met her at Shea, the dark-haired girl? She got a little weird after.
Che.
Do you remember that girl?
Che. Oh, that girl. Yeah.
Oh, the one that like she
She's a
wants
headache.
you to just drive around, pretty much.
Oh yeah. She wants to drive around and buy her beers.
Leads you on, and then
Yeah. So
yeah, they'll like use.
I know girls like that. It's
Yeah.
so annoying.
she like
what?
She knew me from a long time ago, and she was like saw me at a bar and just like was all over me, and then she wasn't gonna fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, hey, I'm not going to do anything, but I'll give you hope for about 2 hours. If you get Is that a fair trade-off?
Yeah. So I was,
Manolis, because he used to be a lifeguard in Hamilton, so he's seen all these young kids that he used to lifeguard when they were like really little kids know him, and they see him now at bars and everything.
Right, they're all
So they have like a little
now.
crush on
Yeah.
you because of what you used to do.
there's been a few girls that I've like ran into them at the age of 20 that had a crush on me when they were younger.
Yeah.
But, like now they're 20, right? And then
That's how Polly gets laid. Pauly Shore, because all these girls, they're like at 12, they're like, you were so big on MTV, that's awesome. And now they're like 26 and hot.
Yeah.
And it was deep set inside them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
They've been waiting their
I
entire
don't know,
lives.
it's just something about him. Yeah, because your dad walked out the door one day right when you were watching Pauly. So you have no idea that you need him to replace what you're missing your father. And it's just like, he's just like, whatever, as long as you suck it. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
So your mom doesn't care. She likes you around. Your dad wants you the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because what? Are you embarrassed at all that you live there?
I'm pretty dead inside.
Okay.
So
no, I'm saying that's a real question. Have you like just like stopped caring?
well, no, I still care, but it's like I don't know. It's just the way everything went. Like it's not like I was like always at home. It's just this everything kind of spiraled into this at the last several years, and I ran out of money, and I still want to do stand up, and I can't work on weekends. I can't like if I have a weekend off, I can't work, and like it's not easy. You know, you need like. I spent at one point I had a work visa. I spent $6,000 on a work visa for 3 years in the States.
Yeah.
So you know that ran out, and so I couldn't go. This, you know what I mean?
Had
Like,
it, you spent, and you never used it.
well, I used it, but I didn't use it. I didn't stay there. I just popped in a lot, and I was just moving around. I'm still working comic, but I mean, it's just tough. It's just way harder, man. I did a TV special here.
What,
So,
Comedy Time?
Comedy now.
Comedy Now. Is that the one everybody does? Is Comedy Time
Yeah,
thing?
the one.
It's Comedy Now.
Comedy Now.
I did one of those.
That's good.
I mean, it's
How much those help you guys here?
barely. At
Barely.
all.
Just so to say
It just gives you a little bit credibility. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you kind of been on TV.
That's what I've
cool.
heard. They're like the low level like specials, but like it's just like
It looks good.
Yeah.
It's just. It would be great if it aired in America. That's what would
yeah.
help you. Like
Yeah.
it just airs in Canada.
I had a set that aired on HBO Canada only.
Yeah.
From the Nasty Show a few years ago, and not a single person in America saw it. But in Canada, people would come out for those things
Right.
just because they're like, yeah, sure, I've seen it.
From seeing it?
Yeah, like if it was on a few times, they'd be like, yeah, I saw your thing.
Yeah. I think I saw it.
Really?
That's where I met you, actually.
Where?
The one where you had the mustache?
Yeah, all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Ari. Look completely different than you're ever going to look. And then tape a special so everyone can see what you don't look like.
A few times.
What do you mean that's where you met me? That was in Montreal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of you said HBO. I thought Jim Norton.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there. That's how I first met you. I saw your cock.
When you were bald.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, then I was bald. That's the two things I've taped for television. Shaved my head, and I had a weird mustache. for no
Rouse was
reason.
on that show.
Rouse, that's where I met Rouse.
Yeah.
Oh, you went with him?
Yeah, I went down to check out just to hang out and
Oh, were you
watch.
in the audience? Did I meet you?
I don't think. No, I don't think we actually talked. I just saw your set,
Yeah.
and at the end of the set, you pulled your pants down and showed everybody your cock.
Yeah.
What was funny to me,
Awesome.
Yeah.
this is what was funny to me is that it wasn't like when someone shows everybody their cock. Usually, it's like, look at this, and then they pull the pants
Just down to, like,
you
just
pull your
below the
pants
stick.
all the way down to your ankles, I
Yeah.
believe, and then you just stood there. You stood there for good at least 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But like when your cock's out for 20 seconds.
Usually it's this. It's you unzip, take your pants in just far enough so you can reach in, pull your cock up and over the unzipped pants and be like, shake it like, hey, what do you think of this? And then right back in. So it's like a second and a half, 2 seconds.
Yeah. So this is the weird part because it's just being a comedian. You just analyze things in a different way. So first thing I wanted in my head was like, as I realized, oh, you're not putting your cock away. It's out.
Yeah.
I after about 5-6 seconds, then I watched the audience, which is everyone's jaws are open, like Jesus Christ, this guy's cock's out. But that wasn't the crazy part to me. No one was taking pictures. No one was pulling out phones and like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody was so shocked that he wasn't putting away that they at no point did anybody think, oh, I guess. Well, why should we take a picture? He's
there. Everyone can
it's
see
there.
it.
It's gonna. I don't think it matters.
right. Nobody
I think
really
he'll
took
show
out
us
cameras.
tomorrow.
So if you wanted, can you get a mental picture of Ari's penis in your head?
I think I remember your bag. Like you had a big cock,
I got
but
a
I
big
remember your bag being very big.
My bag is the nuts are my thing that I would brag
Big-
about.
Like I remember going, "That's a big bag."
Yeah. Norton said once they looked like a beagle's ears.
Well, I like that was a regular bit. Were you pulling your cock out?
No, but I had my friend Joe Rogan's manager. I told her that I got the show, and she's like, "Oh, congratulations! It's really good." You know, she's a friend of mine, and she just made a joke. She was like, "Don't get naked or anything," and I was like, "Oh." Just a light bulb went off in my head.
Genius.
It's not a regular bit, but I do it at the Comedy Store like late night, like all the time. We call it the Jew balls come out. Just the balls usually. I just unzip, but keep the button done, and just pull like a ball or two out. And then sometimes I'll like put the shirt over it. Like if I used to wear like extra large shirts more, so it would like come over, and then I just like as I lift up, it would like reveal a ball. As I reach up, it would reveal a ball. But people's eyes would go to where I'm reaching, and so they wouldn't. So only every once in a while they would see just a ball out. But I'd done it late night at the Comedy Store so much that I was like, I know how to like not laugh when it's out and not feel ridiculous. But I had to workshop. I've been going to Irvine Improv, and like, I was like, I need to tape this to see what it looks like. Yeah. And so I tried just lowering it to like my upper thigh, and I looked on the tape and I'm like, doesn't quite read. It doesn't quite read on the fucking camera. It just looks like you're sort of it's like, is that out? Like you're not sure.
Maybe you just gotta paint the ball.
Maybe like Easter eggs. Yeah, so I realized I had to take it all the way to the fucking just drop them all the way.
Yeah, that's what you did.
And that's what I did. Yeah.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
Like not by your bag so much, just that, like fuck, this guy doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because you were making sure that in the world of editing that you're like no, like well how long was he left them down and you turned around.
Yeah, we talked about this because I was like, you don't want them to cut it out, so they had to say goodnight and walk off, and they gave me a stool because they were like, oh, we don't have a stool on stage. I'm like, I use it for one of my bits. Like you didn't see me showcase that 3 times.
Right.
I'm like putting a leg on the fucking whatever on the stool. Like I need that. And so like, okay, well we can put one on. You could like we'll leave it to the side. You can take it in with you. But you got to take it off with you when you're done. I was like, all right, that's a good compromise, I guess. I'll take the stool off with me.
Right.
But so I just picked the stool up and just waddled off.
Yeah.
My pants because I didn't want them to cut it. I didn't want to say, like, pick up my pants up and say, thank you, good night. And they just cut from the beginning.
Yeah.
But so afterwards, they were like, we couldn't even cut around it.
And you're like, I know.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I was like, oh, sorry.
And I was watching.
Put it on TV?
They put it on TV. It was HBO, so they were allowed. I mean, they showed Oz, but they showed it for a split second and then went to my ass. They went to the behind shot.
What was brilliant is that's what he's walking away with his ass out. I was in the actual audience and going, haha, brilliant.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, you made sure that they can't fucking fix it.
I ran it by the people that were booking it, like lightly. They were like, yeah, do whatever dirty bits you want. We like you. And I was like, okay. I was like, hey, I'm thinking maybe I'll take my dick out. And they're like, no. But they didn't give me explicit no. They're like, well, I think it's something along the lines of like, hey, whatever you want to do, man, just don't tell us about it. I was like, loud and clear. I understand completely. And so then whenever I was getting yelled at by the HBO people and the producers, I didn't mention them at all. That I was like, they fucking knew about it.
Yeah.
Because they were all like, why didn't you fucking tell us you were going to do that? I'm like, because you would have said no. Yeah. I ran it by lightly, those people, but I didn't.
Well, then Rouse's get cut completely?
Yeah, that was bull. But it did.
Yeah, and it had to do with the.
Yeah, they told him to not do a joke about retarded people.
No, but they didn't.
A retarded person.
They didn't tell him not to do it.
Here's what they told him. They told him not to do it, and he said, "I'd really like to do that." He had a set that he had been working on, like a start to finish set, and he was like, "I'd like to do it," and they said, "Okay, I'll tell you what, you can do it, but because he's like, it's a good bit, it'll kill."
Right.
And they said, "Okay, you can do it, but make sure that we can cut around it. If we really don't like it, make sure we can cut around it." Which means you don't do a segue. Like saying, like, if I'm doing a bit about, I don't know, Patrick's hat, I'm not going to do a bit about hotel rooms and then weave that hat into it so they can't just cut that part out.
Right.
You know? Right. You have to do it like, here's the thing about hotel rooms. Okay, finished. Hey, you guys ever see people with hats? To where it's you just cut right before that starts and it's quite easy to cut that out. And at the end of that bit, you don't segue into anything else. And he did that. He did it just like they asked him, but they were still super mad.
Is that the joke where he has sex with a retarded girl?
Yeah.
That's a great.
It's on YouTube. They gave him the set, but
they gave it to him. Yeah, but they said
didn't air on.
They also had to cut. They were going to cut 2 people. They booked 2 people extra, which is sort of evil, knowing they were going to cut them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that is. But I get it though. It's like, what if somebody bombs? I don't want to have to show that. Shouldn't we have an option?
Yeah.
And one person bombed.
Right. I don't remember who. But
doesn't matter who. But like. It was like, yeah, you don't want to have to air that. If you're a network running it.
Rouse,
Rouse killed. I watched Rouse's set from the back because he performed after I was done, and I like watching big shows like from the audience.
Jason Rouse is who we're talking about.
Who I later went on tour with.
Yeah.
That's where we met. But yeah, he was killing, and that bit destroyed.
Yeah.
From the audience, not what I saw later. It was like that killed. But
Yeah.
But so he did that. Oh, so they had to cut one person, but then Jim Jeffries they really loved, and they were going to like let his set go longer instead of showing his set for 5 or 6 minutes. So like you're going 12. They just put his entire set in there instead of cutting parts of it out, and so they had to cut a third person.
So it just made it even that much harder, and they didn't want that joke in the first place, and
Yeah,
then,
I guess they said fuck. Just get
fuck
rid
it.
of him instead of cutting everyone else down a little bit. Yeah, they let Jim Jeffries go as long as Dice.
yeah.
They,
Oh,
like,
did Dice go long?
No, but Dice was what they had like 3 or 4 comics and then a bigger name.
Yeah,
Or like people like newer comics and then a bigger name. So they had Bill Burr was a bigger name, Patrice.
Patrice
Artie
did pretty
Lang
good
and
that
Dice.
Night.
Those are the 4. No, Patrice had trouble. He
Yeah,
kept
he
talking about
worked.
it too. It
He
worked
worked
okay,
it.
but he was like, "Why are they putting me at the end of a 2.5-hour show?"
Yeah, he worked for it. Like
Yeah.
I remember talking to him once saying he didn't like it either.
Yeah, because the show was so long.
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
they wanted to put Dice on the end of the second show, and he goes, "No, fuck that," which was smart. He goes, "These guys are going to be tired. This crowd is going to be tired."
Oh yeah,
They
Dice
watched 2
has
shows
been around.
and warm-ups.
He said, "Is that Dice said I want to go in the middle?" Then is that
I
what
wanted to
happened?
do the end of the first show instead of the end of the second show.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, and he killed.
Yeah.
Jim Jeffries went after me, and it's still one of the reasons I love that guy more than like respect him. So I waddled off. They make you wait like right by the entrance before you go on, waiting for the first guy. Like you're all ready and mic'd up, and so you're standing there waiting. You're nervous. It's the only, TV,
Right.
and so I'm like you're like waiting and stuff, and then like the first person comes out, you're like, "Hey, good job, man," and you wait. Then Norton, he's already gone out to get the guy off, and so the guy, whoever the last comic was, I think Joe DeRosa, and I was like, "Hey, good job," and I'm waiting nervous. I know I'm gonna take my dick out. I'm all fucking nervous. Norton introduces me. You go out there. And then the next guy is waiting in the same place you were. As you go out, you're going to do 7, 8, 9 minutes. Then he comes up. So that was Jim Jeffries. So I waddled out with a stool with my pants around my ankles,
Right.
not really ever considering that someone had to go on after this.
Right.
Like at the Comedy Store, I'll only do it after midnight. It
Right,
disrupts the show
right.
too much early.
Right,
on.
right.
So before 12, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And so I waddled out, and he just goes, "Really, man? Really?" And I was like, sorry. 'Cause this wasn't about him at all. It was just about me. I had no idea he was going to follow me 2 months ago when I decided.
yeah.
I was just like, sorry. He's just like, really? And he's just like, whatever. And he killed.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't
Right.
a problem. He killed, and they gave him an HBO special out of it. Like,
Right,
so it
right.
didn't end up, but before they gave him the special, like that day, like afterwards, he got off. Like I was outside smoking or something, and he was like, "Hey, man, sorry about before. I was just nervous. Like I shouldn't have said that." Which he wasn't even that harsh, but I was like, "You totally had a right to say whatever." But he
Everything,
was still like, "Do whatever you want." I shouldn't have said that. Which I was like, "That's really cool of you."
things, things are sometimes things that are in the moment.
Yeah,
are
he was
just-
nervous too.
Yeah, he's just like thinking like I
Well, it's hard enough.
gotta follow your
Australia?
cock. Jesus fucking Christ.
It was such a nice cock.
Norton said the best thing Norton said was afterwards. He goes, "If I had an ounce of courage when you went to shake my hand, I would have just shaken one of your balls." He should have, because I know I had the thought.
Rouse used to get
I had the
naked.
thought, and then I changed it. Well,
Rouse would talk and get
Talk
on
to
stage,
talk, yeah.
right? So one time I was emceeing a show at Mississauga Yucks, and he was like he would come back up naked. He had his tuck, so his ball. And he'd do this. He'd turn around so you could see his balls out behind his or by his ass hole. So and I'm sitting on the stool, and he's doing his thing. So he didn't notice it. I was like, he's done it so many times in front of me. So I just touched his balls.
oh,
Yeah, on stage. He did not see that coming because he's like, oh, like this. He looked at me like, because he's like, he doesn't, and it was awesome just to watch him fucking freak out.
that's funny. That's funny. So let's get back to your house,
So yeah, man, I want to fucking get out, but I mean,
but not that badly.
no, I do, but I mean, my situation is like, okay, I live in Canada. It's like, okay, it's like if I had do I have a car, or do I have a place?
Yeah, you need a car.
And I need a car. I mean, like at the end of the day, I mean, I just want to fucking tell jokes and I want to get around. I need a car to get around. So it's like, I have all my friends, none of them have cars. I'm the only guy that has a fucking car.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Yeah. So I mean, it's not, I need it for them, but I don't have anybody to depend on. I need a fucking car. So I got to get to these gigs. The only thing that matters to me still, that I still like doing.
Yeah.
I still like telling jokes. That's pretty well it. I mean, like, the only reason to get at my own place really is to fucking because I want to fucking fall in love.
It really is just to fuck. No,
Yeah.
but it's also to be alone, right? There's something you get by living alone. It's just like you come.
Like,
you have your
dude,
own place. It costs too much.
What's that?
I pay $1,100 a month.
Right.
So whatever your rent is, but that's over $1,000.
Right.
Every single month, which is a lot of money. If you had to
Right.
spend $1,000 on something, you're like,
Right.
I better be. And all you're really getting out of it is a sense of belonging, really, maybe, or just like the ability to shut the door once you're inside,
Right.
keep everyone else out.
I mean, I'm crazy. I'm a little
But like
crazy.
when you're asleep, the 8 hours or so, 10, I guess, whatever you sleep, that you're asleep, it doesn't matter that you're in your parents' house or you're in your own place. You're asleep. Like the dreams are coming.
yeah,
Like it doesn't matter. When
Everything's
you're gone,
pretty.
it doesn't matter where you live. So it's only like a few hours a day,
Right.
right? That it matters.
You said you wake up to them fighting all the time, right?
No, I still do. What do you mean? Like
Really?
they fight every. Well, they're gold and Greek, and that's what they do, right?
Yeah.
And I wake up to them fighting every day, and it's okay. Like it's like I don't know. I'm just trying to get through day by day at this point. Like I'm at a point in my life where I feel like when I wake up that I'm coming out of the Matrix. You know, because every day I wake up like kind of like of days of what happened the last day before, and I'm like, like this. I wake up, I'm like, what the fuck? What day is it? What do I got to do? And like I just try to get through the day by day and not try to fucking just kill anybody. You know what I mean? I just try to keep myself sane and just try to.
How long do you see yourself being there? Over under it for me, if you had to guess. Okay, when you're 70, you don't see yourself being there, right?
Obviously not. No.
Okay, but when you're 41 3/4
I see being there till about 42.
next year,
Yeah.
what's the plan?
I'm gonna save my money and try and get out.
And you really see that happening?
Yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
I was $30,000 in debt. Now I'm out of debt completely.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
And
That's the reason to stay at home, right? When people are like, I'm going to move home for a couple of years is to save some cash. Usually they do it at 23, 24.
I mean, when I sold that house and I had some money saved at that point. It's like,
oh, you didn't lose the house?
No, I sold it.
Oh,
Yeah, I sold the house, got my money.
you lost the drugs.
I lost the third income. Like,
Oh.
I was lifeguarding.
Oh, wait, what happened when the cops raided that house? What was the fallout?
No,
He'd already gotten rid of the weed.
I got rid of all the drugs.
All of it. You didn't have any grows going.
Nothing. They couldn't even go in, man, because they thought they sent a guy to do a B&E. They
so
thought
it's his house and not your house. So like, we got nothing on him, on you.
no, we owned the house together. The house was in my name, but me and this guy owned the house together, but it was in my name.
Yeah.
So when they sent the fake criminal to do the B&E, what happened was they realized the only way the cops can go in is if there's no people living in the house. So they thought at that point they thought okay, this is a grow op. No one's there. We'll send a fake B&E and we'll go in with them, and then we'll just find the weed.
So when they're like, I'm going to call the cops, the guy was like, oh, yeah, I guess.
Well, this is what happened because the guy was like kicking the fucking front door of my house, right?
Yeah.
Like 4 kicks, like trying to kick it open, and then he goes, my buddy opens up, what the fuck you doing? Looks at this guy, and the guy looks at him, and he goes, I live here. It's like, you live here? I live here. The guy says, call the cops. He goes, I will. So so my buddy calls the cops, and this guy that's breaking into a house that he doesn't live in waits for the cops.
Oh.
I like that his go-to move was when the guy confronted him was like, I live here. Well, why were you kicking in the door?
Yeah.
Why do you kick into the door of your own home?
Do you know what I mean? Like, so if obviously this fucking dude was working for the fucking cops, right, doing a fake B&E, so they didn't have to get a search warrant and go in the house, but they didn't realize the house was empty at that point.
Yeah.
So I didn't lose the house. I already stopped doing what I was doing.
Oh, so you sold the house and didn't make enough money to get out of debt?
No, I sold the house. No, at that point I sold the house and had about $10,000 to myself. Extra. And then I had to quit my job and then quit my job, live at home, work on every second weekend.
And you spent $40,000?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like with everything else, but I was going to at that point I was like 6,000 on
Black.
like
Like, this might be the problem. Are you playing a lot of gambling?
my papers to go to the States. I did Seattle comedy competition. I did what's the other one? Seattle. San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
I did that comedy competition. I went to I know I'll never do them again. But and then I just on and on and on, just doing all these gigs, trying to fucking find a window to make that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's a tough road, man, because I'm happy on stage. That's pretty well the only time, for the most part. Like I have more in my.
When you're on stage. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. You're happy when you're on stage. people. That's it. That's the only time you can just do what you're doing for fun.
Yeah, yeah. Everything else is just dealing with bullshit, you know?
Yeah, man.
But I wish,
Well,
hey, man, I wish...
But it doesn't seem like you hate it that much.
Well, I mean, what am I
I
going
guess
to
you become
do?
accustomed to it, where it's like,
I do hate it, but I mean, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
do I fucking... What do I do? Like, am I supposed to just like, you know, like...
yeah.
But I mean, I do like this is where the bigger problem is because like everything's a buildup in my fucking head, right? And then all of a sudden something happens out in public, and I'm like, because I just deal with bullshit all the time. One time, me and him were all like fucking going to this event where we were going to get to meet Big Pussy from The Sopranos, right? So he's in the car, and this guy started riding my ass for no reason. And the next thing you know, like really bad. So he ends up going around me. I get to the lights. I pull up and park my car in front of him, get out of my car, just go to pull him out of his car to decide to beat the shit out of him. He backs his car up and drives over a sidewalk and runs for his life.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It was
What's
11 in
the
morning,
problem?
too.
The problem is
People get tailgated all the time.
I know, but
The rest of it is, what do you mean that's the problem?
my problem is he's using that as an opportunity to take out all my frustrations.
Oh.
You
I
need
get
a
it.
lot of road rage.
I'm pretty bad, like when people ride my ass.
Do you ever do this, tap your brakes?
Well, I
Let's get
tap
'em
my
off.
brakes. It doesn't matter where I am. I take my foot right off the gas.
Just slow down.
Yeah, completely. Like
To show them you don't fuck with Manolis.
I would go right to 30.
He starts videotaping them. Yeah, his phone.
I just started doing that.
Yeah.
See if they're like yell and stuff.
No, well, it's against the law to tailgate, so I just turn my iPhone, turn around, and point it at them.
It's against a lot of what tailgate.
Well, it's against the law to put it's not, if it's cop sees
It's
you,
against a lot of record. Or, what are you saying?
it's against the law to have your car 1 foot away from some guy's bumper.
Oh yeah.
So
I got a ticket when I was doing that. I was riding somebody, and they would just not get out of that fucking left-hand lane, and I'm just riding him. He just won't fucking leave. It's a passing lane. They won't fucking move. And then I flashed him a couple times, and there was a cop on my right that I wasn't looking at. He
Right,
just
right.
turns on his loud. He's like, "That's it. Get off the side of the road." Oh, fuck. And he was like, "You're speeding, driving an inch away from somebody and flashing them." And I was like,
Well, that guy,
Rush.
but you know what? That guy shouldn't be in the fast lane, though.
yeah.
But I'm talking about this is just me. That was the situation I told you about. I was in a 50 zone,
Yeah.
just driving in this
50 kmh.
50
Kilometers.
kilometers.
What was that, like 30, 40?
I don't know what is that. Yeah, it's
I think it's like
yeah.
it's
20?
something like 0.6, like
Okay.
the conversion rate.
Well, that'd be 30.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like I am miserable, but what else am I going to do? The only thing is to keep going.
I mean, have you thought of like getting jobs where you could like freelance, do stuff daytimes?
Why? I mean, I do background work. I do,
Oh,
I
yeah,
do
yeah,
tiling.
you
I
do
do
that
do. I do tiling. I do carpeting. I do anything. Anybody
seems
that's
hard.
I was washing dishes with this fucking asshole.
Really?
Yeah. I was washing dishes. He had a job at a diner,
Yeah.
and he's
oh,
like,
yeah,
telling
that
you
one.
that.
he's
Yeah.
like, oh, they need a dishwasher, and I'm like doing it. And I literally remember, like, I was washing dishes one day, and I got a text on my fucking phone, and some dude goes, "Hey man, your fucking Comedy Now is on TV right now," as I'm washing dishes, as I'm washing fucking dishes at a diner. Yeah. Like, and I'm like, and literally, I was trying to get enough money for the rest of my ticket because I was going to Sweden to do gigs out there. I mean, I get to do the gigs, and what am I also like? I didn't do that. Like, I would love not to live at home, but I didn't get into this. I didn't actually do this for the sole purpose of being famous.
Right.
I
You
am
like doing it. That's what
I like doing
most
it.
people do it.
Right. So
Yeah.
why? What else am I supposed to do at this point?
Right. The income's not coming, so you're like,
Does that mean I give
yeah,
up?
because like if I do a gig and they pay me, let's say they pay me a like low level like headliners in America, it's like $1,000 for the week for 3 days. Yeah, it's pretty low.
Right.
But some people in that same like later will do that same gig, you know, and be a little more famous, and they'll get $6,000, let's just say,
Right.
for the week. They're both doing the same work.
Right.
Just one has a bigger name. They happen to be on Parks and Rec or something or whatever
Right.
it is, and they're getting paid more. But they're both doing the same work, and one of them can afford a nice apartment, and one of them can't.
Right.
And so it's like, I don't know, it's like no fault of anyone's. It's just like, I don't know, as the chips fell, you have more money than I do. Or
Right.
vice versa.
So am I supposed to? You know,
Yeah,
what I
I
mean,
guess
so
not. You're supposed to just keep doing comedy.
yeah. I don't like. I mean, it's like
But it's weird. You know what's weird, though, right?
What is?
That you live alone. They live at your home at 41 years old.
It is no. It's shitty. You know what I mean? Like it's. I don't like. I at no point do I enjoy it. You know what I mean? At no point do like I'm. That's
Do you
what
eat
I
meals
mean.
with your parents?
No.
No.
But like I mean I don't know.
Do you eat downstairs usually or in the kitchen?
Downstairs.
You take your food down there with you,
Yeah.
and then you take your plates back up. Or your mom does that.
No, she can't walk. She can't walk really that well anymore.
Oh, cool. That and the lupus. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yes.
Or whatever she's got.
Lift note.
Lift note. Sounds like she's really doing great.
It's funny, not in like an embarrassing funny way, but it's funny more so in the sense like he's like a kid.
Yeah.
Like he's twice our age, but sometimes it's like he's younger than we are when
Yeah.
it comes to a living situation. And
You have your own apartment,
yeah,
and you're 21.
22.
22 now.
But remember, like with
And no
Gavin-
car.
And no
Yeah.
car, though. Right.
Yeah.
But a baby. So,
Balcony.
No, but
He's got a
remember, like we went out drinking with our buddy Gavin, and
Rossdale from Bush? In his prime? 14 years ago?
Gavin Stevens, a really funny comic, and
Man.
we were out drinking, and Manolis never really gets to drink because he is the only one with the car, so he's always the one driving. So
Yeah.
then we were like, oh, like why don't you drink and we'll figure something out for his car. He was trying to sleep at Gavin's, but Gavin's married and stuff, so he was like, I don't know how I'm going to convince my wife to let you stay there. And he's kind of whipped, so it's funny.
It's amazing. I don't know
So,
how
yeah.
to convince my wife to let me do what I want with my house.
So right away, because get drunk. You never get drunk. Because I drive. I'm always driving these
Yeah.
guys, and so I never like I just drink 2 beers and stop.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, and then he's like, oh, you know what? So I'm like, went back to not I instantly. Like I had a beer. I'm like, I just gave it to Patrick. I'm like, here.
But then I was like, why doesn't Gavin just take your car? Like, if he was going to stop drinking, why doesn't he just take your car, drive you home, and then take your car back to his place and just pick you up tomorrow?
Yeah, it's way
and
too
he's
much.
Like, he's like, I can't. Because
Oh, yeah.
like my dad will lose it. He'll be like, "Where's your car?" I don't know.
But it's not like I'm like it's not but it's not like I'm in trouble. Like I'm grounded
That's
because
what
my
it
dad.
sounded like.
Yeah. But it's like I don't. It's not worth the fucking aggravation of trying to explain to my dad that can barely. You heard the message that can barely speak English,
Yeah.
and I was stupid enough to not learn Greek properly. So my Greek's horrible. So we have to speak broken English to each other. And it's like, what do you mean your car no home? What do you mean your friend? What do you mean your friend have the car? I'm like, Dad, it's just I was
And you're like,
drunk.
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's like it's not worth just to get fucked up for
I
one
guess
night.
That's why it's funny though. Like
Yeah.
why he cares so much.
Yeah,
Dad,
of
my
course.
friend has my car. It's cool. And then
Yeah,
that
it's
should be
like-
the end of it. You could be like, Dad, I'm 41.
Is your dad disappointed in you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, he's got a brother
Yeah.
who has like his own
My brother,
house,
he's got
married,
2 nephews.
kids.
He's got 2 nephews. He's got 2 kids. I got 2 nephews, and they're little dudes. But my brother, I think talks about me,
Shit about you.
shit about me, not shit, but he just says like, oh, Manolis is like he lives at home. He says
Younger brother, older brother?
He's older,
Oh, good.
but he works at Ford, and he's married. He's got 2. They're great kids, right? I love them to death. But like I'll be hanging out with them all the time, and they're like, and like my nephew will go, Uncle Manoli. I'm like, yeah. It's like, why do you live at home still? But this is like coming like they don't care.
Yeah.
They're only like they're
It's
only
like, how come?
aware of it because of what they're saying.
Why don't you
Oh,
find
yeah,
a
because there's
girl?
no way. They're like, oh, Manolis lives there. I don't know. I live
Yeah.
here with my dad. You live there with
Yeah,
your
yeah.
dad.
They
It's
just
like,
think
it
that's
makes sense.
life. Yeah.
Until somebody told them that's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So they are like my brother doesn't realize that my nephews are overhearing his conversations.
Oh, yeah.
So
Because
which-
like, why did you still live at home?
yeah,
Yeah, they
exact
hear that.
stuff like that, and I'm like, why?
They ask you why you don't have a wife yet and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
why aren't you married? Why
We
don't
had
you
those
live at home?
conversations with
Like basically this podcast is what they're doing to me. Like, and then they'll go so one time right in front of my brother's like, why do you still live at home? I go, my nephew, because I'm a loser.
tell your daddy that.
No, I said it in front of his dad.
Oh, nice.
Just to
They have to talk with my nieces and nephews whenever one of us is not religious, not Orthodox Jewish, and they'll drive in for like a Saturday lunch or a Friday night dinner. They'll be like, why is that person driving on the Sabbath? Because kids don't understand. All they know is that's not allowed.
Yeah.
So they're like, I don't get it. And they're like, well, they don't do the things that we do. And they have to explain it to them. But all they know is what their life is. That's all kids know.
Right,
Their life
exactly.
everyone should have.
I mean, and that probably, you know what? I'll tell you honestly, that probably bugs me more than anything.
Do you play video games down there?
No, I don't play video games. I don't
Why?
watch sports.
Too much of a cliche. Do you get high there
I don't smoke weed.
at all?
No, I'll get.
Okay. That would become a cliche. I would have if I lived at home, after 30, I would have problems smoking weed and playing video games because I'm like, this looks bad.
Literally a walking cliche.
Yeah, it just looks.
I
like,
don't smoke
fuck.
weed. I like to get drunk. But,
Yeah.
but I don't really get drunk that often. 'cause
Drunk
I'm
isn't
on-
as bad when you live at. That's not a thing. Like he's drunk living in his parents' basement. That's not a thing. But he gets high living in his parents' basement.
Right.
That's
right,
a thing.
Yeah. So I don't smoke weed. I don't watch sports. I don't play video games.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I like when I grew all that weed I told you about. Is like I was also a pot smoker back then
Yeah.
too,
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
I was like probably like I'm 41, so I literally smoked weed for literally a decade, like pretty hardcore, straight. And at the end of it, I was just burnt out, and I just got burnt out.
You never smoke pot anymore?
No, the only pot I'll smoke is like secondhand when I'm in a room.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
No, if I do like a pot room and I get high from the secondhand smoke, that's about
Yeah.
it.
Even
I can
Alcoholics
handle it.
Anonymous, there are people they're allowed to get secondhand high. Like they're allowed or something. It's like not a violation.
These people are just hanging out.
Some of them come back to the back of the comedy store. We have a room in the back of the comedy store we all smoke, and it becomes a hot box usually.
Yeah, so like that, I
And
would
like
get
they're
high
like,
from
yeah,
that.
I don't mind. I can be here. I'll get a little secondhand.
Right. But yeah, I just no, I'm pretty. I don't know, just
You
chill.
don't ever want to smoke weed anymore?
At the end of it, it was like the beginning. It was like all like my mind would always just be like free and just loose. And then at the end of it, I was like, I'd smoke a joint and then think about anything. But mostly, it turned into maybe something negative or something I didn't like. And I was like, maybe like living in my parents' basement, and I would just think about that.
Your mind wandered to that, and you're like, ugh, these are bad thoughts.
Well, I just think too much. I didn't. Where I used to smoke it to not think, in a sense.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
And I was like, I had this moment where I was like, fuck, this is not fun. I'm not having fun anymore. So I just stopped smoking weed.
That makes sense. Well, good luck to you getting out of your apartment. I mean, your parents' house.
Yes.
Seems like that's what you want, right? To get out.
Yeah, I want to get. I literally would rather. Like, I would like to get out of Canada more than get out of my parents' basement.
I've done that too, where you do a 2-at-1 thing, where I'm like, well, like my car doesn't have an input for my iPod, and I'm like, oh, I'll get that. But I'm like, I'll just wait till the next time I get a car. Get my next car, 'cause I'm like, I don't want to get this and then have to, sell it and then waste all this money. But then I'm like, I had that thought like 4 years ago, and I'm like, I could have spent $150 just to get a new stereo in there and have like the wireless or whatever, Bluetooth.
Right.
But I'm just like, no, I'll do it all at once. It's an all at once thing. So you'll go to Canada and then, go to America and then get your own place.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just got to get my parents to move to America first.
All right. Well, I think that's it. That's good. Manolis Zontanos, the oldest man in the world that lives alone, lives with his parents. I mean, I should say something about my sponsor before I leave. What should we talk about? Amazon.com or Gamefly.com? You guys don't have .com here, do you, at all?
And we have .com.
We use
You do.
.com.
What's the .ca? What is that?
It's only Canadian websites. We can-
specific to Canadian websites.
But
Yeah.
Amazon.ca, they have a separate Canadian Amazon
Yeah, but we can still go on like ESPN.com.
because they don't have a CA.
No, they don't have.
But can you go on Amazon.com?
We can, yeah. You can order stuff off it, but I think it gets shipped from the States, whereas the Amazon.ca is all stuff that's shipped from within Canada.
Oh, and so you pay more to ship it from the States?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Can I
But it's
promote
always shittier.
my YouTube and shit like that?
Yeah, sure,
All
go
right.
for it,
Just
yeah.
Manolis Zontanos on YouTube.
How do you spell that?
Manolis Zontanos, Zontanos.
Z-O-N-Z-O-N.
Zontanos, and it's the same for Twitter.
Zon, it's Z-O-N?
Zon, Zed,
Okay.
Zed, Z.
O-N.
Zed and Z is the same word,
Yeah.
letter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Z-O-N.
And then Twitter's the same. This is the problem.
What's
So,
your
yeah,
Twitter?
Same thing.
Manolis
This is
Zontanos.
my whole life, though. Everybody always thinks I'm high when I'm not. That's.
Right.
I got pulled out of class one time just because the teacher thought I was stoned in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and didn't even smoke a joint. Try weed then.
Nice.
Anyways, thanks.
You're welcome. Patrick, what's your... Oh, no, wait, I forgot the Amazon.com. That's all right. If you go to my website, arishafir.com, there's a link for Amazon.ca and Amazon.com. And if you click on that before you make your Amazon purchases, then I get a cutback.
Nice.
They just give me some cash back. But it doesn't cost you anything extra. So Canadians, go through my website. Go to the second link, Amazon.ca, and buy all your fucking back bacon or whatever you guys buy on Amazon.
Maple syrup.
.ca, yeah. Buy your year-long supply of maple syrup and then get me like $3 on Amazon. All right, cool. Thanks.
All right, thanks, dude.
You live at home in a trailer. What the hell you gonna do? Yeah! Cause I live at home in a trailer. Mom, I'm coming home to you. Break it down. Well, my name is Jimmy. His name's Greg Buell. Me, him, and you, we went to the same school.
Boom. That's it, everyone. That's the episode. That was cool. I sort of get it, right? You can sort of get a little bit. Well, I could say it's like, fuck it. It's not that bad. It's not like you're in Ethiopia or anything. You live with your parents. It's not. I mean, it sounds so sucky though. Fuck. Now as I'm trying to say it's not that bad. It sounds so sucky. I guess though at some point you would just get used to that. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you would. Anyway, so that was cool. Manolis Zontanos, one of my two Greek friends. Follow him on Twitter and stuff. I am in Kansas City right now in a hotel room, and I am super baked. I got high after the last shows. I do my Holocaust survivor son method of just trying to smoke all the pot that I have accumulated over the week. What I've purchased or whatever other stuff that I don't want to get into. But yeah, and I just got so goddamn blazed. So thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let's go out with, I'm going to say Daniel Johnston, because he's a guy who still lived with his parents at like 50 years old. So is he still alive, Daniel Johnston? He is, right? I think he is. Anyway, it was a fun week in Kansas City. Thank you to everyone who came out, and thank you to Johnny, the guy who helped me, just a cool guy who helped me sell my merchandise. That was cool of you.